Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. This is Grace Willette. She is a senior here at the Gordon College Theater Arts Department. And we're really excited to have you here today.
Thank you.
So tell me what it is exactly that you're studying.
I am a double major in theater and psychology.
That's actually, there's a couple people doing that, aren't there?
Yes, it's actually a very popular combination,
Yeah.
which is weird because it's not something that people talk a lot about. But yeah, it's pretty popular in our department.
Where is it exactly that you're from?
I'm from Townsend, Massachusetts, which is like a small town about an hour away from here.
And so why did you choose Gordon?
I actually didn't want to come to Gordon originally. I wanted to commute. I wanted to stay home. Gordon was the only school I applied to that didn't require me to commute. And I kind of one day was sitting with my family and said, "Hey, I think I want to go to Gordon." And they were like, "Cool." So, yeah, my dad went to the school here, but they didn't want to pressure me to come here. So, yeah.
Did you enter Gordon as a theater major?
I did not. I was undecided, so I had no major and then ended up picking up two as I went along.
How long were you undecided for?
For one semester freshman year, and then I decided theater, and then I added psychology my sophomore year.
Do you have any words of encouragement maybe for a student who's thinking of coming in and undecided? Um,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's something that everybody puts pressure on you to decide, and just knowing that you can come undecided and that it's okay to figure it out. And honestly, it's hard to know what college is like before being at college. So, yeah, super helpful to experience classes and kind of figure out what you want and pick your favorites out of everything.
what was it exactly that drew you to pursuing theater?
I did theater all throughout middle school and high school. It was kind of a side hobby of mine. Um,
Her side hustle.
So yeah, if you will, but I didn't really think about pursuing it seriously until I came to Gordon. Um, Shout out to Norm. I took one of
What
his
a
I
gem.
took one of his classes and that was it. But it really helped just to see that other people were doing it and that it was something that I could do professionally. Yeah.
What is your favorite show that you've been a part of?
I hands down it would have to be the Fantastics. Just the people that were involved, the show itself, just the world that we created in that show, and the confetti was super fun. Yeah, just overall great experience.
What would you then say is your favorite role? Would it be Fantastics?
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
And could you tell us a bit about your role, who you were?
Yeah, so the Fantastics is about the girl and her love interest, and they fall in love, but their parents are feuding, but they're not actually feuding, and there's this whole plot about it. And so I played the girl's mother. So super quirky garden folk, if you will. In the original production, they're both dads. In our production, they were both moms.
What is your pre-show ritual routine that you do?
I love to come super duper early, which is sort of just kind of like a I need to be there on time. But also it's nice to kind of sit down in the chair and kind of just center yourself, kind of shake off the day that you've had. Um, my pre-show ritual for Little Women specifically included wearing a robe that I had acquired over the years just for funsies and cow slippers. And I would say that was the best pre-show because you're just kind of chilling in my little cow slippers and my robe. But yeah, that's kind of always listening to music too. That always
So
helps.
fun. What aspect of theater would you say you struggled with the most?
I am not good with technology, so lighting and sound, I would say, was the one that I struggled with the most. I had a moment where I was turning off the light board and the one thing that you're not supposed to do is push the button. You're supposed to turn it off from the computer, but instead of turning it off through the computer, I pushed the button on the computer monitor, and I had a moment of panic where I was like, they're gonna kick me out of the theater department. That's it. We're done.
It's over.
It's over. Spoiler alert, they didn't kick me out of the theater department. But I would say, yes, lighting and sound, not my forte.
Yeah.
Others are very good at it.
It's hard. The people who are good at it, oh my gosh, they are so talented.
Yeah, I give them
And
full
brilliant.
credit. Oh, yeah.
Mhm. Okay. So how has that specific area developed here at Gordon? How has it been an area of growth for you?
I think that before coming here, I would have never thought of even attempting any of it. But here, it gave me the opportunity. I designed lights for fall shorts. Yeah.
Good for you.
Thank you. I designed 2 fall short lighting, whatever you will. And that's something that I didn't think I would be able to do by myself. But here it's kind of like, we know that you have no experience with this, but we want you to try it because we know you can, and you have the capability to. And it was honestly a lot funner than I thought it would be.
Do you have a favorite story from Gordon Theater?
Oh, there's so many. I immediately just forgot everything that's ever. Let's see. Oh, I have. So during our rehearsal for the Fantastics, there's one part in the show where I had my hair ripped like around. And during rehearsals, there was one day where we were doing it, and the way that we did it, I was leading the whole thing. It wasn't like a real thing. And so I was getting way too into it, and I threw myself on the ground. And I got back up, and I kept going, and everyone's looking at me like, what happened? They're like, are you okay? And I looked down, and there was a hole in my favorite pair of leggings.
No.
And I was like, oh, but I didn't even notice because I was like, the show must go on. But so I just, yeah.
That's like the saddest thing when like your favorite item, something happens to it.
Yeah.
Once I washed my whites with a tube of tinted lip balm. My whites. Anyways, well, that's fun though.
Yeah.
Because you're like throwing yourself into the role.
Right.
You're doing what Norm Jones tells us to do, is to like make choices.
Yeah.
Even if they're not that was a bad choice. That was a fun choice.
No, yeah.
But like even if they're not the choice you ultimately make in the show, you're gonna learn from it.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of Norm, what is your favorite Normism?
Norm. Oh, I love a good funnel moment. He always is like, all right, guys, we're going to start the production at the top of the funnel where we're just starting to get to know the show and get to know the class or whatever it is. And then as we get further and further, we kind of hone that in. And when it's the show, it's kind of now we start deciding what we're doing, and kind of concretely just funneling it all into a show or a class, whatever it may be.
I actually hadn't heard that one before.
Really?
I think, yeah, I've only done one class. Yeah, one class with Norm. Because I'm not technically a theater major. But that's a different story for a different time.
It's a different interview.
We're not talking about me. We're talking about you.
Yeah.
So speaking of you.
Oh, boy.
What, this is, I know you hate this question, but what do you think you're going to do after graduation? Or what would you like to do?
Eventually, the dream, because every graduate has like a dream, I want to do this, would be to open up a theater that's all inclusive, so that kids with disabilities can do theater alongside kids who are neurotypical. So just, which I think is super important because those kids don't get the opportunity to do that. And time and time again, psychology has proven that super beneficial for them, not just to be in theater, but to be included in something. And I mean, I've learned here and believe firmly that theater is for everyone. And so something like that would show just, that theater is for everyone and that everyone should be involved.
That's really beautiful.
Thank you.
That's like such a cool concept.
Yeah.
What is one show, movie, or book that you would say represents you as a person?
Oh, that's tough. Um, I mean, I'm a big Gilmore Girls fan. I don't know if that represents me super well, but huge fan. Um, Also Glee, but like that's just like every theater
Theater
kid's.
kid.
Yeah. But yeah.
The final question.
Ooh.
What would you say to your younger self about theater?
Oh my goodness. So many things. The biggest thing would be not to be afraid. Um, I was so afraid of so many things. I'm a fearful person in general. It's kind of part of my personality. And for a long time, that was super, everything about theater was super scary to me. I would only go for ensemble roles, anything that wouldn't put me in direct spotlight because that's terrifying. Um, but I just recently auditioned for like a community theater production. And a lot of people, like parents, family, friends, came up to me and were like, that was so brave of you. And I forgot just how brave it is to be in theater and how vulnerable it is and how so many people are like, yeah, I could never do that. But it's not it's exciting and it's not as scary as most would seem. Yeah, so that's my biggest thing would be not to be afraid and to just go for it. Yeah.
That is really cool. I love
Thank
the
you.
concept that theater is brave.
Yeah. Oh
'Cause
yeah.
it is.
Oh yeah. You're
Gotta-
putting yourself out there in front of a bunch of people
Yeah,
all the time.
all the time.
Yeah.
Emotionally too, really
Mhm.
vulnerable.
Yeah.
That's-
Even the designers too are putting their children, their work up on stage for everyone to see and ridicule and whatever what
Yeah.
have you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, food for thought, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be thinking on that for a little while now. Cool. Well, thank you so much for
Thank
sitting down with
you.
me.